Greetings, YouTubians, and welcome back to Wayne Sharp World, where we are actually running out of Mondays for the year of 2021, but nonetheless, we still have a few left. I think a few, at least two, maybe three. I don't know. Time's going too fast to keep track of all that. But regardless, it is another Monday, meaning you know what time it is. Wayne Sharp Week, highlighting the knives that will be in my pocket for the next 5 or 6 days. I have got a good lineup to go through, but before I do that, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. If you like what you see, please do me a huge favor. Hit that subscribe button, follow along, and I will continue to bring you the content. And on top of that, I also want to give a huge shout out to all my sponsors you see up top: DLT Trading, Mojave Outdoor, and White Mountain Knives. Give these retailers your business, guys. It's because of them and some great people within the knife community that I can do what I do. So if you're out there looking for another knife, hop over to these 3 websites, give them a look. Between the 3 of them, you are bound to find what you're looking for, and I would really appreciate that, and as always, appreciate their support of my channel. Now, with that being said, let's get right into it. And the first one, I'm going to be kind of quick with because I've already shown it a lot lately, but it is your champ for 2021, the Varga Knives VBR. He's going to have a couple victory laps in the pocket this week. Just a great knife. You guys have already heard me talk about it. If you want to get one, though, Mark is planning another production run of a Gen 3, if you haven't heard this yet, but it's going to have a flipper, as you see, and thumb studs. Right now, he has a poll that I believe is still up on his Instagram asking people what type of handle materials they prefer. One of them is copper snakeskin carbon fiber, and I really hope that they end up being one of the choices because I want a knife with that so bad. I always have. Really hoping that my VBR can have that. But regardless, there's a production run coming. There's a pre-order that's going to open up soon. So get on Instagram, follow Mark Varga and Varga Knives, and stay in the need to know on this because this is just an absolutely fantastic knife. Best knife of 2021 in my opinion for a lot of good reasons. But yeah, if you want one, stay on it, guys, because this is going to be a hot commodity when the pre-orders open up. I think there's going to be a decent amount of pre-orders available, but again, they're gonna go fast, and it would not surprise me if they sold out if there is a limit on the quantity, which there may or may not be. I don't know all the details on it. One more reason why you should follow Varga Knives so you can stay up to date with that. This here is the Varga Knives VBR. Now, next up, I've got another knife here that I will be reviewing later this week, and I have to say, I wasn't too excited about it when it was first mentioned and brought into the news, but I gotta say, I'm so far pretty impressed with it. That's the Civivi Cogent. It is Civivi's button lock. Some of you may be asking, how could you not be excited about a Civivi button lock? Everything they make is really good. I have my reasons. There are things that I really like about this knife. There's things that I don't like about it. I will have all that in my review later this week of it. But I have to say, so far, I'm not disappointed. But yeah, definitely some good and not so good things to say about it. A lot of that same Civivi quality and action that you know and love. And they've definitely made somewhat of a statement with this, but we'll see. Like I said, got a lot to say about it, and I will say it later this week. This here is the Civivi Cogent. Next up, I am throwing a Benchmade back in the pocket. It's been a bit of a minute since I've had a Benchmade, and one of my favorite ones here, the Benchmade 940. This is definitely my smoothest Benchmade. This axis lock, and I've criticized the axis lock in the past. I'd still say that I would take the Able lock from Hogue over a Benchmade axis lock any day. But this is kind of an exception. I'm not saying I would take this over an Able lock, but if all Benchmade axis locks were this smooth, they would be absolutely equal. Because if I was to close my eyes, if the thumb studs felt the same as a Hogue, I wouldn't know the difference, because this is just absolutely the smoothest Benchmade I've ever handled, I've ever had. I really do love this knife. It doesn't have the best cutting geometry of any blade out there. Everyone knows that already. It's an old school knife, but it still works. It's still plenty good enough to handle EDC needs, unless all you need to do is just slice all day. Not the sliciest blade, but still a pretty damn attractive blade with that S30V steel, thumb studs that I really like, and just overall action that is just fantastic. And it is a drop shutty knife in every way. So I really wish all Benchmades had this type of action. But like I said, not trying to trash Benchmade because they make great knives, but sometimes the axis lock's a little suspect. This one's not. This one's great. It's one I would recommend all day. If you're looking for a Benchmade, this is a great one to start with. The Benchmade 940. It's a classic for a reason, and it's just really, really darn good. The Benchmade 940. Now, next up, we've got our Kansept Reverie. I've talked about this one before in the past, and you know, when I was talking about this and handling it during my Knife of the Year awards, it got an honorable mention. I kind of fell in love with it all over again. I just really love this design. It kind of reminds me of a Pena, but it's still so different from a Pena. It definitely has that Justin Lundquist feel with the milling and design on the bolster, and the level of smoothness that this knife has is... It's hard to put it into perspective for someone who hasn't experienced it yet, because it really is just the bearings and the way the blade moves. Incredibly smooth, incredibly in control, I guess. You know, sometimes a blade is completely fall shutty. This one has just a very glassy close to it. And when it comes down and as it's closing, it's like you don't feel the friction in the bearings, which really is a testament to excellent action and quality materials. And the detent, it's just right. It's just right. Some people would say that sounds a little soft. The way this knife is designed, it kind of has to have a little soft detent because you need that little bit of softness to kick the blade out. And Kansept just executed it perfectly. They really did. The only thing that wasn't executed perfectly on this knife, like I've said before, is the pocket clip. I'm not going to beat a dead horse on that. Like I said, I have kind of figured it out, so it's not the end of the world. But it doesn't do you any favors when you first get the knife. There's a bit of a learning curve to get to that level of comfort to just regularly deploy the blade as needed. But you can right out of the box. Very smooth reach around. Very nice indeed. And just a blade that is pretty darn elegant in my opinion. A simple drop point. It almost kind of looks like a clip point. It probably could be a clip point because really this is flat here. So yeah, I think this probably is a clip point. I may have misspoken. But regardless, it's a very attractive blade with a nice kind of a mirror stonewash finish there. I am peeking up over my phone. You can see my eyes. But yeah, no, it's good. It's really good. The Kansept Reverie is definitely one. If you guys like the aesthetics of this, I'd absolutely recommend checking it out. It's a pretty reasonable price. If you get the base model here, it's like $160, $150. Maybe it's on sale a little less. But just a great knife. Super smooth, super good. One I would recommend, the Kansept Reverie. And last up, we're going to end with a flex, and we're going to end with a bruiser, and that is none other than the Chavez Redencion 229 Tanto version. One of my favorite Tanto blades of all time, because it is just an absolute flex of a grind from Riot. A nice high hollow grind coming down to a razor's edge. I want to say that's around 15, 16 thousandths with a tip of a flat grind that is just a brute of a blade. Not too thick, not too thin. Excellent cutting geometry, excellent design, and really just a beauty in every way. This is another knife. I have some neutral knives here that are just like, you know, plain titanium and steel that I really like to do some custom work to. Someday, when I actually have time to do it and get things sent out and get ideas set up, I probably will do it. But this is absolutely one that I'd like to do that too. You have such a huge canvas of a handle that is just that great, yeah, it's kind of a tumbled titanium. So it really looks amazing as is. But yeah, I would love to maybe do some type of milling or something on the handle to kind of just give it a little more attitude. Not that it already doesn't have enough of an attitude, because it's just a gorgeous knife with a beast of a blade. You got that Chavez pocket clip on the back, which I think is amazing. I love how this one has the hidden screws. Some of his newer models that are showing the screws, and I know that's to kind of probably reduce cost and whatnot. But I really, really love the hidden screws on this clip. It really kind of makes the clip. It's that extra little attention to detail that really makes it just look fantastic, in my opinion. Carry's great in the pocket. Carry's pretty deep, too. I mean, it's not true deep carry, but, you know, there's only that much sticking out of your pocket, so that's fine with me. No issue there, and you still see the whole skull clip, so that's nice. No issues with this pocket clip, really. It's ergonomically, it works great. No hot spots whatsoever. Everything was done pretty right about this knife. This jimping up here is a little odd, but other than that, I mean, I'm not even really complaining about it because I like the knife so much. It's still, it works. It's functional jimping, just kind of big and chunky. But this knife is big and chunky, so yeah, I don't know what I'm complaining about. M390 steel, laser beam blade, just a fantastic knife. Complete winner, the Chavez Redencion 229. So there you go, guys. There's my carry for this week. As always, of course, you better let me know what you're carrying this week. I always love hearing that. Usually, at least, I almost like everyone else's carries more than mine because you guys got some sweet blades out there. So let me know what you're carrying. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Hope you have a great week, a great rest of your day, and until the next one, I'm out.